Hello everyone and welcome back to another What If. Today we're going to be doing a Tis Venture Camp one though. Never done that before, but I thought I'd give it a shot. Now, before we start, I know All Stars hasn't finished, so from episode 18 to episode 21, I'm going to be making it up as I go, but I'm sure it won't make too much of a difference to the What If as a whole. But anyway, the What If today is if Fiore was voted out instead of James, because really, I don't know why James voted for Jake. I know he had a quarrel with him, but knowing if the Hunter and Ali were gonna vote for Fiore, he should have done it too. But never mind. All right, let's get started. So, episode 3. The only difference here is the Magenta team, and with James instead of Fiore, they're even more likely to win. So the Cyan team still go to elimination, and with well. There's nothing I can do to stop Blake from getting voted out, though, because if it happens in the canon and it's not a magenta, there's not much I can really do. Now, in this one, Alec throws the challenge. Does he not? Yeah, he does, because Miriam finds out about the alliance. He throws the challenge, and they vote for Miriam. Oh, and actually, something to say. Villainous alliance is created, and it's got Rhea, Yule, Alec, Gret, and Ellie because Fiore's not here, so that's one last vote if they, Anyway, episode 5. Now, in episode 5, that is the episode where Fiore actually. Oh, yeah, because Fiore's the reason they lose the challenge. So I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Cyan team was way ahead in this. And it came down to magenta and yellow. Fiore was asking Rhea to give it to her. She didn't. But now it's not Fiore, it would be James. James definitely beats them. So it's now yellow. And now, obviously, I think they're still going to vote out Connor. So that's a shame for him. But, he's probably still going to come back later on. We'll see. So, episode 6, that's the music episode. Now, this is the one where Connor actually goes. And with James here, I think he'd easily be able to fill in Fiore's role. And, oh wait, yeah, Hunter's here too. So, yeah, I think they're going to be fine. They're going to be able to fill in the role. I don't think Hunter would want to sing, but you'd still would. Do they do something or other? Play an instrument or something. So, then, that means the yellow team lose again because of the technical difficulties, but now they actually have to take out one of the Villain Alliance members. No, Yule and Gret, they're together, so they're going to not vote for each other, even though Yule doesn't feel the same way. He just kind of wants it for an extra vote, really. Of Alec and Rhea, I think Yule would rather get out Rhea, because that Gret would go along with it. So Alec stays. Lucky for him. Because I don't think Alec and Rhea would work together at this point, even though you know what happens later on. But episode 7, this is where Fiore is voted out originally. Now, in this challenge, Fiore actually, I think Fiore cost them 1 point for the Magenta team. And so without losing that 1 point, is it not Cyan that go to elimination? Yeah, because I don't think they would, and they've actually got a really strong team now because Hunter and James are actually fairly strong. So I think Magenta actually might be safe, and I think the Cyan team would be going to elimination. Maybe not though, but we're gonna just do it now. Because the fact that they've gone to elimination an episode early, I think Ellie's still, isolating herself. And so because of that, I do think that Tess is still going to vote for Ellie with Tom and Aiden. So she's going in episode 7 instead of episode 8. Now this is weird. Magenta, the team that has only 3 people after this episode, is now got the most out of everyone by far. Anyway, episode 8 now. Ali doesn't do. Okay, so Rhea's not here to, actually do it. So I think it'd probably be like Alec, and I think he would do the same thing. I think he'd get out of the area. Jake and Aiden, they're still going to be in there. So Aiden still loses the challenge. So because of Aiden losing the challenge, it's now Tom, Aiden, and Gabby. And Gabby's now really annoyed that Tess voted out Ellie. So I think she's actually going to go. She's going to be, part of the Villains Alliance at this point, but she's going to go behind Tess's back because Tess will think she'll go vote with her, but I don't think that's what happens. Actually, no. Tom, Aiden, and Tess are probably all going to vote for Gabby, actually. Because even though Tom and Tess like Gabby, she's been a bit, by herself. That might not happen, but I think that's what goes down. Episode 9. Now, this is another usual Scientine elimination. And with the teams, I would probably say it still would be. I mean, I think the Magenta, they've actually got the strongest team here by far. Everyone here is actually pretty good at the challenges. Alec, Gret, and Yule, they weren't bad at this one at all. Neither was Tom, Maiden, and Tess. But I think so in the original, there was a team vote, and Magenta won in the original, so they still win now. So Yellow and Cyan go together, but because there's no villains here, it's going to be a 3-on-3. Tom, Aiden, and Tess, they vote for Yule. And then Alec, Gret, Yule, they vote for, I think, Tom. Yeah, Tom. So then 3-on-3, Yule versus Tom. I would say most likely Tom's going to win. No, James is not going. Why is James there? Alright, there we go. Yule's out. Now, episode 10, that's the merge. Let me quickly just add a merge team. Yep, merge team there. So, we got Alec and Gret. So they were only actually a 2. So that's not a lot of Villains Alliance left. Ali, Jake, Hunter, Ashley, James, Tess, Tom, and Aiden. Right, so because of the fact that I don't think there's going to be a Villains Alliance running this, I think they're actually going to just do it more on. I'm going to figure out an alliance or alliances. So Jake, Ashley, Hunter, Ali, and also because Hunter is here, Ashley doesn't have to do. I think there's gonna be like Hunter, Ali, and Tess. They're gonna be together. James is with Aiden, and I think with Tom, because James and Jake still don't like each other. And then Alec, he's probably just gonna have to be with Gret because none of them really like them. And so in this challenge, the new people are Hunter, Tess, and James. And I don't know how Alec does it in the original. When I say still wins immunity, so then the votes are gonna go Jake and Ashley. I think they're gonna vote for Aiden because that's who he wanted. Ali and Hunter. Ali's gonna vote for Jake. Hunter, I think, is actually gonna go behind Ali's back and vote for Aiden as well. Tess is gonna vote for Jake, so that's 2-3. Alec and Gret, I think they're going to vote for Aiden because Jake caused more drama, so 5-2. And then Tom, Aiden, and James all vote for Jake, so it's a tie. 5-5, and I'm going to say Jake wins the tiebreaker. And now that's going to cause a lot of ruckus on the next one in episode 11. Well, no. Episode 11 is the rejoin. So we've got Aiden, Yule, Gabby, Ellie, Rhea, Connor, Miriam, Lake, Fiore. So out of the ones who were here originally, Lake's not going to make it, Miriam's not going to make it, Ellie's not going to make it. So that, and Aiden won't make it because he was just eliminated. So that leaves Yule, Gabby, Rhea, Connor. And Connor's burst of energy came from Rhea being, so bad. But I would say if we're talking, and then Ellie, yeah. So Gabby doesn't have a reason to go on without Ellie, so it's actually between Rhea, and Connor. And I'm gonna, even though it's probably unrealistic, I think Connor's hate for Rhea still comes up in the 5 episodes he was actually there. And I think Rhea treats him badly. Like, I don't know. And I don't think Yule's gonna win. So even though it's probably not likely, I think Connor rejoins. Just because. And Connor, he's probably going to put himself over in this kind of area, I think. Yeah. So in episode 12, then, Alec wins immunity in this one as well. And I would say that he's probably still going to win this. And so, because of that, I don't know, who does he take on his stake thing? Because Connor's just rejoined, he's safe. And then his partner, that would probably be like a Jake, I think. Yeah, so if I think Alec takes Connor then obviously they don't fall in love. But the elimination, I think now Jake and Ashley are going to vote for James, because you could probably switch around James and Aiden in this order if James gets voted out here, but I don't know. Jake, Ashley vote for James. Ali still votes for Jake. Hunter, I think, also votes for James. Connor, I'd say, votes for James. Tess votes for Jake 4-2. Alec and Gret, they vote for. I think they actually vote for Jake, so it's 4-4. Tom, he votes for James now that Aiden's not here, because him and James don't have the connection, and I can also move Tom over here. So then James votes for obviously Jake, so it's 5-5. Another tie. I think this is Jake's third tie. This time though, do I think he wins? Honestly, I do. And it's kind of because James has already won, and they like to deal with that. I think he actually does win. I don't know how, but he does. All right. Episode 13. To who they gave immunity to. Ashley, Tom, Hunter, Tess were all not here. And so they've probably got some power one on another. But I'm just going to make it simple. Say Jake still gets his, telekinesis, and he wins it somehow because, the thing falls. I think this time he keeps up Ashley instead of Aiden. I think Tom's gone by this point, though. So, yeah. So, him and Ashley, they've got immunity. I think this is where people start. Well, obviously, I think they're going to start going for Alec and Gret here, but I don't know what happens. I think Alec and Gret go to like Ali and Hunter and Tess, or no, Jake, and they try and make sure that there's still more arguing in fighting. And so Jake and Ali, I think they do start to argue, even though they've got Ashley and Hunter each. I think they still argue a lot. And so because of that, Ashley, Jake, they vote for Ali. Tom votes for Ali. Connor votes for Ali. Hunter, Ali, and Tess, they can't vote for Jake, so I think they vote for Alec, and then Alec and Gret vote for Ali. So Ali's eliminated. Episode 13. Episode 14 is one of those TikTok challenges, so I'm just going to pair them up: Jake and Ashley, Tom and Connor, Hunter and Tess, Alec and Gret. I think Jake and Ashley still find the watch or whatever it was. Tom and Connor, they might not do too well, but I'll go ahead. Hunter and Tess, Alec and Gret. I'm gonna say that I think that Tom and Connor are able to do this. So it's between Hunter and Tess and Alec and Gret. And I think Gret will be able to teach Alec, and I think they'll actually make it. So I think either Hunter or Tess. Now, I think Hunter at this point is probably Tess is probably gonna sacrifice herself for Hunter. So, yeah, I think so. So she's gonna say, or she's gonna do something, which means that she gets eliminated. Even though I know it's like you have to rate the dances or something. She's just probably gonna quit or something. I don't know. All right, episode 15. Now, I don't fully remember what actually goes on. Obviously, the immunity idol gets played. Grant's the one that finds it, and I think she starts to do what she was doing in the original here, but it kind of and she goes without Alec, and so I think she's going around. I think she's still, instead of Jake and Connor, I think it's Jake, Ashley, Tom, and Connor that are together right now. But I think she'll do it when they're not all together. So I'm gonna say it's with Jake and no, I'm gonna say it is still Jake and Connor, and then Connor gets the idol, just because I don't know where Ashley and Tom are, but that's what I'm gonna say it is. And so with that, they kind of trust Gret, and because of that, the challenge is the one with the weight. Yeah, it is. And they have to ask each other stuff. Now, this is where Alec and Gert can really pin each other against them. And I think something comes up which makes I think because these guys are all pretty friendly, I think something happens. I don't know. I think that so the winner of this challenge is Jake, and I think it still will be Jake. I think Alec is gonna be the one. No, yeah, he's gonna be the one that stirs up the drama, and I think it'll be something to do with Jake and Hunter. No, but no, everyone likes each other. It's kind of difficult. I don't know. I'm gonna say at this point that I don't think Connor and Hunter have that big of a connection to Tom. So I think Jake wins immunity, and I think that Alec and Gret, they're trying to convince Connor and Hunter to vote for Tom. And I think they both kind of see the sense in the fact he's a massive physical threat. And so behind Jake and Ashley and Tom's back, they vote out Tom. All right. So then we're into episode 16. And in this, it is the maze. Now the winner of this is Gret, and with Ashley and Hunter here, I don't think they're gonna change much. I don't think they're gonna win. Gret so gives her beer to Connor, I think, and the votes they're gonna go. No, I think they will probably go towards Alec, but Connor is really close with Alec at this point, So I think what's going to happen is that Jake, Ashley, and I'm going to say Hunter, they all vote for Connor. No, they all vote for Alec. Connor plays his idol for Alec, even after, because the kiss doesn't happen with Rhea and Alec, because Rhea gets out in episode 6. So he plays his idol for Connor, not Alec, and so they vote for. I think they're going to vote for Ashley or Hunter, not Jake. I don't think. Actually, you know what? No, Jake. Oh, actually, no, but Colin likes Jake. No, it probably makes more sense for it to be Hunter, honestly. Oh, oh God, this is not great, but we'll see, I guess. Hunter's out. Then, episode 17, the last one that has actually happened, the horse riding. Ashley 100% wins the challenge. I mean, it's literally horse riding, and they mention it in the episode. So Ashley wins this challenge. And so at this point, I think Gret is the odd man out. Because you got Jake and Ashley, and Connor's kind of very friendly with them. And then you got Connor and Alec. And then there's just Gret, who's trying to play both sides, but I think they compare notes, just like kind of what happens in the original. And I think Gret is still eliminated in this episode. Alright, now we're into episode 18, and this is where I'm going to have to do some imagining. Now, I have seen the trailer for this episode, because, I have it a little early access, so I kind of know what happens. So I can tell it's not the motel. So we have to do an elimination here. And in the challenge, which I can't really go into, out of the people that are here, just for no spoilers, obviously, out of the people that are here, I say the most likely to come up with this. Honestly, everyone has a chance. I wouldn't say Jake would win, is what I think. I don't think Jake's going to win. Apart from that, I think it can be anyone. And I'm just going to say that anyone is Connor. Yeah. And so I think Alec and Connor, they're going to vote for Ashley. Jake and Ashley, they're voting for Alec. Ashley and Alec in a tiebreaker. And I think Ashley loses. Alright. Episode 19. Now I'm assuming this is going to be Motel, so we can skip over. Now I have no clue what this final challenge will be, but I feel like out of all the skill sets we've got, saying the fact we know Jake can't climb and blah blah blah, I think that the one most likely to get eliminated here is probably Connor. Obviously, maybe not, depending on what the challenge is in the actual season, but that's what I'm thinking. So we've got final two of Alec and Jake. Now, in this, I feel like they'll do some sort of duel kind of thing because both other times they've done like a race to a certain line. I feel like they would do more of a duel kind of thing this time around. I think that'd be really entertaining. And I think that in this timeline, I think that Alec would be the winner of this Venture Camp All Stars. Alright, look at this. I want to quickly go down to the bottom, see how many things are right. So, Fiore first boot, Lake and Miriam, they are usually second and third. So that's the same. Connor elimination one episode early, Rhea instead. Ellie elimination one episode early. Gabby worried Ellie would go. Yule in episode 9. Aiden episode 10. James episode 12. Ali episode 13. And also, you could definitely switch James and Aiden. It just does not matter because James and Jake really don't like each other, so you could argue they swap. It's up to you. Ali episode 13, Tess episode 14, Tom episode 15, Hunter episode 16, Grant episode 17, Ashley episode 18, Connor episode 20, Jake second, Alec first. Now this is a kind of different one because it's this French camp. I've never done that before, and the season not even finished yet. But anyway, if you enjoyed, make sure to let me know, and I'll make sure to make more just French camp content because so far the two videos I've made, they've actually done really well, and I'm really happy about that. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.